Alright, we got the 2010 Kawasaki Brute Force 750 with the exhaust leak. Let's bring it in and see if we can find out what's going on with it.
It looks like there's no gasket on the head pipe.
You can see right there it's supposed to have the exhaust on it. There's not one there, so we'll go get one. And you can tell right here that there's a bunch of black soot around there, so it's obviously been leaking.
Got the new gasket in there. There's still a small leak coming through this. But there's not much I can do unless you wrapped it with some kind of muffler tape or something like that.
She definitely has a bog to her still. I don't know what's going on with that. Could be running lean with that pipe or something, but the thing's got almost 6,000 miles and it's got 700 hours. Well, the exhaust leak is all this brute force came in for, so all it ended up being was that exhaust gasket, so that was an easy fix. I'll have to get a hold of them, see if they want anything else done, but as far as I'm concerned, that's done for now. Well, back in the shop she goes. He wants a once-over, and there's something going on with the fan, so he wants me to check out the connections there, and I'll see what's going on with that bog issue.
A lot of oil in that air box. Hopefully that's just from him pulling wheelies or something. See the dirt around that plug there? You always want to blow that out of there first before you pull the plug, otherwise dirt's going right down the spark plug hole. There's the spark plug out of the front. The rear cylinder plug. Might as well throw a new set of plugs in there. These CR7Es are pretty cheap. That'll work.
So I did a little tune-up on the brute force, get the exhaust fixed. There was also the problem with the speedometer. You turn it on, you can see it comes on for a second, and it just disappears. The connections at the speedometer seem good. The connections under the seat seem good, so I start checking grounds. Checked all the grounds in the back, nothing wrong. But I think I might have just found it. There's a ground back here. It's loose. I'm gonna tighten that up, see what we get. That fixes it. Oh, look at that. Perfect.
You also have a problem with the neutral light. Flickers when you rev it up. You can't start it unless you hold the brake because the neutral light don't light up.
Let's just inspect that real quick. It's pretty dirty in there, the connection. Bend this in just a little bit. Let's see if that fixed it. Nice bright neutral light. Beautiful. And we're going to be removing the radiator fan because it's got a connection issue.
That's why we get the fan removed.
The whole thing was just loose here. And I opened it up and you can see the brushes are pretty worn. This one's almost all the way down. It's not returning. These are sealed units anyways. I just wanted to see what was going on. I got a good used fan out of a Brute I can throw in there anyways. So we get the exhaust leak done, we get the speedometer fixed here, we get the neutral light fixed. Now we get the fan situated. So this right here is a customer's 2010 Kawasaki Brute Force 750. Now most of these machines you see are all mine, but this is a customer's. And I do agree that I should not be beating on it hard. Normally I wouldn't beat on a customer's machine like that, but this guy literally asked me to right here. And you definitely should do what the customer asks. And you know what? After that top speed run, look at what happened. So the first time he would have done a full throttle pull like that, it would have happened to him, and guess what? It would have been right back here probably. So better to happen here than there. But the video you actually commented on, I didn't even think I was getting onto it that hard. Now when somebody asks me to go through their machine, I check it out. I do a little test run just to make sure it's good to go. And if I can't get on the throttle a little bit with your machine, how do I know that when you get it back, when you hammer on it a little bit, nothing's going to happen? So normally I do a little test drive on somebody's machine if they want me to do it a once over, unless you specifically ask me not to. But I'm not going to do a top speed run or wheelies like I did on that one, unless you want me to. And you got to realize, a lot of my new customers are actually coming from TikTok. They actually want to see videos of their machine on here. I got to say, those brute forces are fun to play around on, and it sure is making me want to fix one of mine. I got a 650 right here, an 05 750 there, and I got this 750 I picked up not too long ago. The customer's brute force 750 right here. As you can see here, it's got some problems. So I got this torn apart to check out the fuel pressure. Go ahead and slide that over. So for these to run properly, they should have at least 40 psi. So I'm going to go ahead and turn the key on and see what we get. Well, that's good. At least we know the problem now. It's a low fuel pressure. We're going to change the fuel pump out, and this thing should be good to go. Go ahead and plug this in and test the fuel pressure. Let's see what we get with the new pump. That's better. Button her back up, should be good to go. Only one thing left to do. She's running like a charm now, and throttle response is way better. Alright, so the owner of this brute force was having problems with it. Doing some riding, and then the battery died on him. Put a brand new battery in it, and same thing. After a while it died. It was a brand new battery. I charged it up fully, tested to see if it was charging. There was nothing. It was like 12.3 volts or something at the battery, which was what the battery was putting out. Nothing coming from the charging unit. I then come back here, looked at the voltage regulator. When I pulled that plug, this is what I found. It's all melted in there. The plug-in itself was all melted. It was just a mess. These are the 3 charging wires that come out of the stator. Somewhere around full throttle, you should be getting around 90 volts AC. This thing was spiking to 130, so it was pushing way too much AC voltage into that voltage regulator, which was frying it out. So we got a new stator, new voltage regulator, and we should be good to go. So if we look at the stator cover here, somebody's definitely been in here, and she's definitely leaking up front. We got a pretty decent oil leak. So it's a good thing to come off anyways. For about $300, we get the RM stator voltage regulator. Then we have the RM stator. See, nice braided line. These are decent quality here. It was about $300 for that. If we would have went OEM for the stator and the voltage regulator, it would probably been over $1,000. We'll just give her a quick rinse before we start on this. Go ahead, remove the battery, get that fully charged up again. First thing we got to do is remove the floorboard. Once that's all done draining, we can remove the rest of the bolts of the water pump. So the last time this thing was here, the oil didn't get changed. I asked him before if he wanted it done, but he said he was going to do it himself. But by the looks of how dirty the oil filter is, it hasn't been changed yet, so I'm just going to go ahead and change it. I didn't ask the owner, but she really needs some new oil. And we're changing the stator, so it's going to drain anyways. If you wanted to tip this machine up on its side, you could save the oil that's in there, but it's old, it's not fresh. Let's get some new oil in it, drain it, and do it the right way. I feel the owner would agree. If not, hey, I'll cover it. It's not a big deal. A little black, a little gassy in there. Go ahead and get these wires over here. A lot of oil in front of there. You just need to crack her open, just like so. I'm gonna go ahead and remove the stator and clean up the case real good, and then we put the new one on. Alright, time to install our new one. We'll go ahead and Loctite our bolts. It's a good idea to check the chains while you're in here. Everything seems pretty good. Nothing's overly stretched. Plenty of room to go. When I scraped that case down on the stator, it was not in great shape. So I'm going to use a brand new gasket and some Yama Bond because I don't trust it.
Light layer on the top here.
Got our new filter on, drain plug installed. So I couldn't just replace the plug on this because these are my wires. As you can see, they got pretty crispy. Went back until I had nice wire way back here, and I replaced the whole wire and plug to there. That was a little bit of a pain there. That's done. We're ready for our new regulator. Alright, let's check our voltage on the new battery. 12.8 volts just came off the charger. Well, looks like this one's ready to hit the trails. Now we're on to the next.